All right, what is up? Welcome against all odds, all technological difficulties. We are finally here. We're going to look at the EZX expansion packs that were designed for EZDrummer, made by TuneTrack, who also makes Superior Drummer, which is what I am running. And I picked up the Hip Hop pack because the TuneTrack, the Superior Drummer packs are quite expensive. They're pushing $200. You can pick up an EZX pack for about 80 bucks or so, give or take. Find it on sale, look for a deal, something like that. But it is a great way to get some more sounds that you can experiment with in Superior Drummer. And they work well, and they sound good. They are not quite the studio grade, best microphones in the best studios by the best engineers, but they're very good sounds. They're certainly going to beat the pants off of probably whatever module you are running, unless you are on something really, really high end for electronic gear. But if you can get MIDI out of your drums and into your computer and load up Superior Drummer, then you have access to a bigger library of sounds and taking advantage of these EZX packs that are not quite as expensive as the, I forget even what the Superior Drummer ones, their initials are, but anyway, the EZX packs work. I think they're SDX, right? Someone fact check me and put a comment on there. So that is where we're at. What we are going to do is go through some of this. I was going to do this last week. Bear with me. I know you're here to hear this stuff, but holy crap, I got all set and ready to go. Computer completely froze up. It's a recent build computer. It's never done that before. So I think there was some major updates to a couple of things. So I got washed out last week. Then I was warming up for tonight. My kick drum, my Roland TD-17KVX2 kick pad, started malfunctioning. That is the first real issue I've had with this kit in coming up on 2 years. So I began the process of reaching out to Roland. I am documenting that whole process, so keep your eyes out for a video up on the channel that is going to go over, what happened with the kick drum, the TD-17 kick pad that comes with the TD-17 kits, and what the process is for resolving that. What I did to resolve it temporarily, I have a kick drum from my first electronic kit from at least 15 years ago. It's a rubber kick pad, but it works. I was getting a lot of double triggers, triple triggers, weird stuff going on. So that was the other technological hiccup today that tried to derail things. And then it was just kind of one of those, everything I touched didn't want to work. So, but things are working now, and let's get into it. So to access Superior Drummer, you can do it as a standalone software program, which is how I have it opened up right now. And you can, it will also integrate into most DAWs. So I would like to make sure, okay, we're good to go. I'm seeing stream stuff down here, but not over there, but I'm gonna believe this one. Okay, so we have our screen up here. We have our mouse. As you can see, there are a whole bunch of pads. There's a whole bunch of shakers and knickknacks hanging out down there. First of all, to pull up the EZX kits, you tap up here, and typically you're going to be in Superior Drummer, okay? Kind of your standard, whatever you're into there. To access the EZX packs, here's EZDrummer libraries once you have that installed. And so you're going to click on Hip Hop EZX if that's the one. And so we have our pads are going to be triggering things, okay? Kick drum, toms, okay? This I could go in and I could tell it, yeah, I want you to play the upper tom with tom 1, but we're just going to move on right now. But it's not a difficult thing to do. You can MIDI assign things quite easily and quickly. So maybe we'll do one here in a little bit just for a refresher. Okay, cymbals. I don't know why we're doubled up there. So anyway, it's pretty quick to reassign stuff. And I'm going to end up doing a fair amount of clicking around with the mouse to activate things. And there are some ways around this. I have a MIDI keyboard controller over there that I did test that out, and it does work. I can assign different keys to different shakers and percussive things that are sitting around on the tables in the Easy Drummer pack. And I've got little drum pads on there. So anything that's going to send out a MIDI signal can be connected to the computer and used to trigger, you know, all these other things here. Okay, tambourines, triangles, sleigh bells, all kinds of goofy stuff. The other thing you can do, of course, is to sit down, not trigger it with MIDI at all, and you can use these sounds and you can just paint yourself a groove, or you can play a groove, and then you can add some of these sounds on top. So it increases your library, gives you more things to play around with, and they're kind of genre specific. So let's go through. I mean, oh, that looked like it was going to be a cowbell. Okay. Oh, we got a vibra slap. Dude, those things are the best. So let's go ahead and we can play around with some of these a little bit. And I kind of want to play. It's been a challenging couple of days here. So I'm just glad to be sitting back here. So let's knock around a little bit. Okay, so there's a lot of that. Let's go through and I'm going to hit different parts. You know, the rims are going to have different things assigned. Okay, that's going to be a wood block. There's the triangle. That's the rim. The snare's going to be the click and the rim shot. But I noticed the bow of my splash triggers one of those pads on the percussion pad up there. So tap around a little bit and see what controls what. And then I'm just going to go through and let's look at some of the different kits that are available. So this is the default when you pull it up, and you know, let's see what basic is. What's basic all about? Sometimes basic is better. All right. Let's see what Keith Kit has. So, and by and large, these are going to look pretty similar on the screen, but they're going to activate different sounds. Like I can already hear some kind of filter going right now. It's showing macros. Which, you know what, honestly, we're going to learn some of that together as I dig into some of the stuff in Superior Drummer that I haven't. So I am working on on a little bit more content in the long form video realm for some Superior Drummer stuff, because it really is incredible software. So let's see what this is. Keith Kit, and let's click around with the mouse some of the different sounds. Okay, this is showing me we got a stack up here. When you see you've got a shaker, a tambourine, and a hand clap, and that is a lot of times the kick or the snare. However, in this case, I don't know what it's connected to, but it's connected to something. So let's play around a little and see if we can find it. And remember, just tap on all the things, all the things. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of variation. It looks like the stuff that is sitting on the tables and trays is staying similar. I already hear something making a little bit of a jingling sound. Okay, that's forever bound to that sound. So the overall differences that I'm getting are with the toms, the kick, the snare, the actual just kind of drums themselves, and kind of the effects that are on them. So this is kind of a light, airy. I don't know if that wind chime is just always going, but it's kind of a zen thing. So I'll take it. All right, pretty standard with what's assigned to the rims. And again, any of that stuff can be added. Oh, where did we hear this sound before? Oh gosh, it was something that I was going through and I thought it was hilarious, so I did it a bunch. Here, what a great time to go into the settings, and this is how you can assign something on the fly, because as it is right now, I have both of my toms, tom 1 and 2, are just activating the second rack tom on the drum kit, and I want tom 1 to hit that upper woo guy. So I'm going to go into settings, I'm going to go down to MIDI E drums, and pay attention on the left. Okay. Okay, so on the right, it says rack tom center, and it says off. CC zones. Okay, so we want it to be rack tom. Okay, what is this considered? Rack tom, floor tom. Okay, so that's called something else. Let's figure out what this is. Okay, that's tribal. Okay, that's ragtime. Okay, so you see where I'm looking up here to find out what's what? Right here, that says ragtime. So when I tap on this upper tom, it says it's tribal 1. So now I know what I'm trying to change it to. And let's get in there and do it. MIDI and E drums. I'm going to go back to ragtime center. And I would like to make this tribal 1. Okay, tribal 1 center. And I'm going to close that and it should be good to go. There you go. All right, not so hard. Okay. All right, let's try another kit. That one's high tech. And let's see what academics is. Anything? Oh, that's got a huge kick. And so to me, like the reason I picked this this library, the Hip Hop EZX, it's got a lot of like kind of just tight, kind of lo-fi sounding stuff to me, and you know, all kinds of electronic stuff. But that's what initially drew me to it. I like lo-fi music quite a bit, and it's kind of dark, vintagey sounding electronic stuff. Okay, so now for the way this is set up, let's go ahead and do that because it's going to work for all the kits. So that's forever tribal, because as you notice, as we change kits, the picture of what you're seeing the same kick, snare. I guess that little tom is called tribal, rack tom, floor tom, and then... Okay, so now I've noticed these are sent through as the same. So let's fix that. So see, we're gonna learn all kinds of stuff here tonight. So that is ride, and this one is also coming through as ride. So I want it to be something else. So what do we do first? We watch up here, because this tells you, what did you just play? You played the ride, and this is the sound that's loaded into it. If you want to edit that, you can get in there. There's a whole library of different cymbals and things like that you can pull into it. So there's quite a bit of flexibility. These preloaded kits are good starting points for things. So that's right. What is it? Okay. So now I got to figure out what I want which cymbal I want it to be. Let's just have it be that one, because that's the closest one. So that's cymbal 3. So I want to tell Superior Drummer that this is not the ride cymbal. Let that be the ride cymbal. This is cymbal 3. So I'm going to go again into settings, MIDI in, E drums, and that's called ride bow. And I'm going to make that cymbal 3. And I am going to secondary notes, 29 crash, 55 crash. Interesting. I'm just gonna call it good like that for now. Okay, now that's a different cymbal. Let's look back at what we want to do. What's this one controlling? Oh. Ah. Okay. Now I need to change, so I changed the bow. All right. We changed the bow to the splash. You know what? That's that. Here. We're going to make it. No, we'll do that. We're going to make it this one. All right. All right, that's cymbal 1. So Again, say it with me. Settings, MIDI and E drums. Okay, you want to make this cymbal 1. Or excuse me, cymbal 3. Let's also make that cymbal 3. But you got to be careful, because whatever you hit is going to be active right here. You want to make sure you're changing the right thing. So we're also going to make that cymbal 3. Okay. Yeah, I think that ought to work. Okay. That one we're going to switch to cymbal 1. So that actually we'll leave that. Let's hit the edge of it and we'll make that cymbal 1 and then we'll be done with it. Okay, crash. Okay, there you go. Now we have some different stuff. Does that make sense? I know we went off like on a little tangent there, but it is useful to know, and that's how you change things. And I think that it's going to hold true for whatever kits I pull up next. So let's find out. That was Academics. This is Primo. All right, that one, hey, listen, honestly, that was not my favorite one, but they're not all going to be my favorite one. This is Quest. I wonder if that is a nod to Questlove at all. All right. I like that kit. I like all the stuff that's on it. Raw. Let's see how raw. And again, it was worth taking a minute and setting things up. And that holds true to the other kits. Okay. We got like air raid siren stuff going on here. All right, we'll play around with this one. This is Slinging and Studio King. This is raw. Let's see what's on this one. right, that one's pretty freaking cool. I'm a big fan of the air raid stuff. All right, let's see another one. Variable bit crush. All right, tight little kick. All right, let's find something else crazy. One for Dilla. Who's Dilla, and why do we have a drum kit for Dilla? I don't know. Okay, these are the macro controls down here. So let's kind of experiment with what these do a little bit. This says pitch a snare. Okay. What happens when I drop it down? Oh, okay. So it literally tunes the pitch of the snare. Well, let's bring it back up. Okay, I can bring it down. Interesting. Okay. This is the pitch of the kick. Okay, the envelope. So envelope filter. Let's play with a little bit of that. Okay, it's how much in this instance, with no envelope on it, it is kind of a looser, more ring kick. And then when you crank the envelope kick on, it tightens up. There's like zero ring to it. So let's leave it how it was. And let's see if we do the same thing with the snare. Okay, I imagine this is going to dry up the snare quite a bit. Honestly, sounds a little pretty much the same to me. Well, okay. And then you have ambient. And okay, let's let it tell us. Adjust the release envelope of the wood block, body sounds, and effects box. You hear a wood block? Okay, interesting. I will have to learn more about the macro controls moving forward. I don't know if these are just here to... Usually when there's a little stack of sounds on the side there, it's telling you that there's a stack attached to one of the kits. All right, at any rate, let's reload this so it's kind of default. And we'll see what it sounds like. Because then we've got, one for Dilla 2 coming up right after that. I don't know why I like those little voice sounds so much, but you know, they really kind of do it for me. All right, let's see for De La Two. Okay. Did we need a second Dilla kit? You know, maybe, maybe not. Let's see what a basic trap kit sounds like in here. Oh, there he is again. Let's see, because like I said, there are some limitations to EZX versus SDX and the Superior Drummer ones. So I'm noticing, oh, never mind, I am getting bell. Okay. All right, I thought a lot of these did not have bell, so we'll take it. All right, let's see what else we got in here. Nice. I like that kit. I'm not exactly even sure what it is I like about it so much, but I do like that kit. I think it's like kind of the open ringing kick drum, which I usually don't care for, but it's kind of, you have enough of the kit that's very loose, snares nice and tight and punchy, and yeah, I don't know. I just like the overall sound and feel of it. Okay, this is Evident. Nice. All right. Let's see what feather sounds like. Oh, I already hear like birds. Why do I hear birds? Because it's feather. Okay. I mean, a lot of this sounds pretty similar to the last one, but there's birds chirping in the background, so. All right, that was pretty similar to the last one, you know, but it added birds chirping, so you get some you can get some points for that, I suppose. Kane. Any background sounds? I hear a little crackling. Okay. Oh, I just heard like a little space sound. There's like a little flange coming off the back. Okay, one thing I'm definitely not getting as much of that I would like to is some nuance on the snare. I can tap it, and I'm getting about the same as if I hit it harder. So I hear a little bit more of the whatever effect is on the outside of that when I hit it harder. But the actual dynamics of just the hit, and honestly, let's find out if that is a function of, if it's a limitation of the EZX kits, because I honestly hadn't noticed it before. I'm going to play around. Soft hit level. See if there's a setting in here we can mess around with. Well, let's crank this way down. Why am I not getting much velocity sensitivity on here? Velocity gate, velocity curve. Let's see what we got. So velocity, if you don't know, with MIDI, it has to do with how hard you hit the pad. In Superior Drummer, the softer you hit the pad, if you play very, very softly, it activates a different sample altogether. And in that software, it's literally was, you know, some guru in a room tapping on the drum very quietly. So it's not like you just get the same sample for the drum and it's just louder or softer. With high-end software, you get discrete samples for the different velocities that you play at. So that's fine. Let's see if we can. Well, what if we turn this off? Doesn't matter. Let's, I don't know. According to this, Here, let's see some presets. Okay, we don't have any presets. Haven't made any. Soft curve, what's that? I don't know. All right, I will find out more and report back to you. There's got to be a way. Maybe it's this kit. I feel like I wasn't noticing that as much in previous kits. Here, let's go all the way back to basic. Yeah, see, I'm getting some dynamics in that. So that absolutely is true. So I guess maybe it's just that snare more than anything. Let's go back to, we were at Kane. Did we play Kane? All right, let's see what else we have that's, you know, a lot of these are kind of falling into pretty similar things, or at least the last few have been, to be fair. But let's see, let's say you like everything about this kit, but you know, you're kind of like, okay, I'm over it with that thing. So let's, you know, what else can we change that to? That's the tribal drum. That's boo-bam. Let's search for an instrument. And we have a whole bunch of stuff. Percussion, and we can make it shakers. We can make it be all kinds, whatever the heck that is. So you have a lot of variation. You can go through, you can dial these kits in a little bit to however you want them to be. Okay, that's how it is right now. Let's say I want it to be like that. Or let's say I want it to be, yeah, let's make it be that. So I've highlighted that. So I'm working within this drum, which is the tribal. Okay. And I clicked on that, and then I clicked here to open up and find out what other things there are. So I'm going to go ahead and hit replace that. Oh, okay. And now it looks like an electric pad, which is fine. But it has the sound that I assigned to it. So they do have a lot of sounds available. You can get creative with those things, and you know, that's a cool thing. Let's pull up Break. We have Break 1971, and then we'll wrap it up with Break 1972. It's got some dynamic to it. I guess maybe I just noticed it the most on that snare. Okay, that's Break 1971. And let's see, Break 1972. Or, you know what? Listen, we're gonna finish this out, because I honestly don't think I'm gonna come back in and do a whole nother one of these on just like the last 5 kits of the EZX pack. And the point of all this is to show you that you can use the Easy Drummer packs that cost less than half as much as the Superior Drummer packs. You can use those in Superior Drummer. No, they're not going to be as high grade, but remember, if you have Superior Drummer on your computer, you've already got gigabytes and gigabytes of really, really killer studio sounds. So this is a great way to add in some good quality sounds and a wide variety of things to play. Sweet. All right. Yeah, let's get these in. Ambient. Okay, now there's a Roland kit that's ambient that I like quite a bit. But I don't know what this is going to be like. Are we going to have the same? Yeah, why? Those are kind of cool. I don't know. I could go in and make that be something else, but that's okay. Nice. All right, let's do the gritty. Let me know, you know, in the chat comments if you need to see me do the gritty. Somehow I saw some hearts on the chat. Where did that come from? Did that come from somebody who wants to see the gritty? And ask yourself, are you sure? Knock. Oh God, that's a meaty snare. I'm kind of over that sound. Okay, so let's also be real. I'm not quite sure I exactly even know how to do the gritty. Oh man, I know a guy who could. It's something like that. Was that close? There's hearts. There's hearts. Bring the hearts for more gritty. It's something kind of like that. I probably was doing better sitting down. But hey, what fun is that? Did we just do knock or are we here now? 100? You guys are awesome. Can I heart back? I feel like I can. Oh yeah. Nice. Much love, much love. All right. Black Mill. Okay. I like it. I like it. Okay. Neptunus. I wonder if Uranus is up next after this. Okay. Interesting. Those are all like creative little kits. 14-bit tape. Okay, so 14 bit's going to be, you know, pretty good sound quality. And then on tape. Oh, wait a minute. How am I? Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so this triggers that pad. When I click on that pad, I get a different sound that I actually quite enjoy. All right. So a lot of these kits leave the electronic sounds to handle the job of, like, you know, that kind of stuff. Because a lot of these kits are like live, kind of tight, punchy, basketball-y kick drums. And that works. Okay, let's see what 14-bit tape has got. Interesting, interesting. Once you find where the electronic samples are, or you can stick them where you want them to be, you can start to work them into a groove like that. And that, I think, is like where a lot of the creativity options, like you can't do that stuff with an acoustic kit. I mean, you kind of can't, you know. Yeah, you could put electric pads, but they're electronic, so you can't do that with just an acoustic kit. So having these samples available, and you can stick them anywhere you want, and you're good to go. All right, this is the last one in Hip Hop EZX Original Mix. OM Original Mix. All right, very cool. Okay, that is the EZX Hip Hop Kit. Listen, go check something out. Click into this, click into that, because it's going to be what you need. Thank you so much for being on here. I appreciate you, and I will see you soon. Peace.